CP, or command points, is one of the most valuable thing that you can get in Call of Dragons. It is a resource that lets you attack dark forces and recovers over time. It will be the #1 source of your account growth for speed ups, resources, different stars, as well as sometimes keys. But the most important thing will be the Sentinel Arrow, as well as the 3D item. These are items that are required in order to upgrade some of your buildings, and you have no other way of getting them except spending gems. So it is fair to say that CP is one of the most important resources in the game, and there is a few ways for you to make a max amount of CP and save CP when you are fighting Darkling forts and Darkling patrols in general. First, we'll talk about how to get the CP item. These are the only items you can get in the game that will grant you extra CP. Now, of course, they are hard to come by, but there is a few ways for you to make them. The first one will be spending. If you go into the monthly pack, you will see that you can buy these packs for a pretty low amount, and you will be getting 30 days of reward. That means that every day you're going to get 1 here and 2 here. So you will obviously get quite a lot of this over time, and this is the only way you can get CP recovery in the shop, which makes it a very, very valuable resource because whales can't really get more of this than a regular or a free-to-play player. It is really one of the most valuable resource in this game because it is one of the rarest as well. Now, these items are gonna get scrapped at the end of season, so they are only valid for 1 season, so you must use them in the season that you get them from. Now, another way to get these items will be in the store. You will be able to buy a few of these basic CP recovery every week on the weekly reset, and it will cost you resources. So this is something you must buy. It is free, and it is one of the only way to buy it, and it is not even for gems, it's for resources. So it's a very, very easy buy. It is a mandatory thing for every account that wants to grow. Now, if you want to upgrade your rally beacon, you will need a lot of these. If I was to upgrade mine, it would be 14,000 gems to go to 21. You need to get it to 25 eventually to unlock all of the stuff in this game, including T5. So as you can see, it's going to be very expensive and tens of thousands of gems. And the same will go for the watchtower, where you will need a lot of these again to upgrade the watchtower. So the only way to get them without spending gems, as I said, is going to be from Darkling patrols, as well as from Darkling forts, where you get some 3D here. So it is something to keep in mind. CP is very important. Now, what is the best way to save CP? I've mentioned this in videos in the past, but I'm going to talk again about it because it's so important. Now, it's pretty straightforward. Once you attack a Darkling patrol and you create a legion, you will see that my Lilia and Villain, for example, are going to attack. It's going to cost them 50 CP. Now, that is obviously pretty straightforward. It is how it works. 50 CP is the cost for attacking a patrol. Now, if you are going to be attacking these patrols and you keep your marches outside of the city, which means you're not going to refresh, it will go down by 2 CP cost every time you kill one of these. So after killing 5 Darkling patrols, it will cost you only 40 CP per patrol that you attack. So this is where the value is really high. Now, this is obviously going to be easier to do the stronger your account is, because if you're killing level 25 patrols, as you can see, you're going to be taking a significant amount of damage on your heroes, but you will be saving a lot of CPs. So you can do a few strategies where you obviously are going to send as strong of a march as possible, and you want to have a tank march. If you can bring some healing item, it would work too. But as well, you're going to be wanting to use all of your artifacts every time, so you can wait in between them. There's a few different ways of doing this. Of course, right now I'm not doing it the most efficient way, but just to show you, if I'm going to attack this Darkling patrol again, now the cost is not 50, it's 48. The CP, reduced CP cost by 2. This effect stacks up to 4 times, basically it's going to be 5 times total, which means you will eventually have 40 CP costs per march, which means if you're attacking with 5 march, you're saving 50 CP every single time you attack. And with 5 march, it means you'll also be out there for longer. If you want to take it a level even higher, you're going to be grouping with another player, a friend of yours, who also will be sending 5 marches. And you're going to be killing these things so fast and taking such little damage that you're going to be able to chain and chain and chain and do way more. You get way more value a bigger bang for your buck, of course. This works for the Darkling Patrols. Now, you can also be doing the same thing for Dark Creatures, but Dark Creatures do not give any of these books and stuff. So as much as they are worth doing while you're increasing your artifact levels, once you have reached level 60 on all your artifacts on your main marches, you do not want to be using your CP on these because they are useless. They give the same kind of resource as a level 25 march here, but they give, you know, Arcane Dust, which is a complete waste, and the XP is obviously not great, but also not needed. You would, you know, other than for the resources, you would be rather wanting to do these because this is basically giving you gems every time. This is pure gem every time you kill a Darkling Patrol. So as you can see here, of course, after a few fights with some of my marches, obviously I didn't get a lot of them in every single one of them, but this is worth 50 gem every time I get this as a reward, and you can have multiple marches doing this. It is not something that happens all the time, but when it does happen, it is free gems for you and your account. So it is, you know, the only way to really do this. Now, if you can time this as well with an event that gives you extra rewards, such as like the Eliana Crisis or, you know, these kind of boxes here, these bags of blessing, you'll see if you open a lot of them, you also will get a lot of Sentinel Arrow and as well as a lot of gold keys and all this other stuff. So it is very, very smart to wait for these events and then spend all your CP so you can get so much more reward out of it. Of course, the boxes are the best ones. The ones I just opened basically 1,000 of. They are going to be where you get way more of these arrows. So it is going to be way, way, way worth it for you to wait until this event is on and then do all of your CP in the most efficient way as possible. You really will get your account much more value that way. Obviously, this is way more relevant for low spenders and free to play, but it is always free value, so there is no cost in doing it. If you are doing it that way, it will simply help your account in many ways. Now, the only other thing that is going to be worth for your CP is going to be Darkling Forts. Darkling Forts, I've made a video about it. You can solo Darkling Forts and stuff, but it really isn't worth the time that it takes to do solo properly. And you are better just doing it with 1 or 2 members of your alliance over and over. Now, as you can see, the level 7, level 6, the amount of 3D you get isn't really a big difference. I got, you know, I get 50% of damage here. I got 6, 15, I got 1, 21, I got 4. It is very random. I get 49, I got 1. So the amount of 3D you get from them is very random, and you can't reduce the CP cost of forts per se. You technically can, I think, if you leave a march out after fighting 5 Darklings and you send them into a rally afterwards. I think they reduce the cost by 10. I have to verify that, but in any case, Darkling Forts are definitely worth doing. They give a lot of resources and they give, you know, 3Ds. But it is not going to be as easy to spam them as much as you can with 5 marches doing a lot of these Darkling Patrols. And again, the Darkling Patrols will be where you get most of your value when you combine it with an event that gives you a lot of extra rewards, such as the one that gives the chest that I just opened earlier. This is going to be where you get most of your value when using CP. Lastly, of course, it is going to be a regenerating thing. You will be getting more CP over time, so just make sure that you don't cap it and you always use it before bed, because once it gets to a max, you just waste the CP that you get. So it is always important not to do that because it's free value for your account. And make sure that when you are attacking Darklings, you are doing the trick here where you are getting more consecutive Darklings and saving your CP while an event is going on, and you will really be getting way more value than anyone else if you do it properly. If you have any other tip about how to save and make CP in this game, feel free to share in the comments below. I would gladly talk about it more in a future video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.